Welcome to Knit Together with Kim and Jonna. I'm Jonna.
And I'm Kim.
And this is our Let's Talk About Spring and Summer Knits 2023.
Yes.
Yes. So just some backstory here. Today it's like fourth winter, so we're both freezing outside.
Mm-hmm.
But was it just a week ago? We have almost 3 days over 90 degrees, which is over 32 degrees Celsius.
Yes.
Yeah, and so everyone just dropped all their, woolly knitting.
Yes.
And started, asking questions about summer yarn and summer patterns. And I was, checking all my websites that I like to shop at. And I texted Felicia here at Pick Up Every Stitch and, asked her, do you have this yarn? Do you have that yarn? Do you have a 100% linen yarn? Do you have a cotton, merino blend, blah, blah, blah. So, so we went down this rabbit hole of spring, summer knits, patterns, yarns, and so we decided to do a mini-sode on it.
Yes, we also had posted somewhere. Was it Instagram?
Facebook. I posted on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
Asking, what people might want to see in future mini-sodes.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I posted. We have a members-only Facebook group. So if you're a member, send us an email and we'll get you into that group. But
yes.
I was just, I wake up in the morning and have my coffee, and my husband takes care of the dog downstairs. So I went on to, my computer and started looking at all the summer patterns, which led me down the rabbit hole of summer yarns. So I was asking everybody what their favorite summer yarns were.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
but a lot of viewers did suggest as a topic for this next mini-sode, summer knits. So here we are.
Yeah, we jumped on the bandwagon.
Yes. Although I have to say, I hadn't really thought about it. It wasn't on my radar because I just finished my Here Comes the Sun,
right.
And I just started my Decision cardigan. So I hadn't even thought of summer or spring knits. So anyway.
And you have a queue, not based on seasons.
Exactly. I have a queue of sweaters and of patterns and yarns ready to go that I'm going to knit in order unless I slip something else in there. But none of them are spring or summer knits. But we wanted to, since this was the topic we were going to do, we wanted to talk about current or things that are on our radar now, not necessarily, like I'm wearing my Dingley Dell and you're wearing your Ranunculus. Those are obviously great spring, summer knits, but we're not going to talk about those today.
No. And unlike you, I just drop everything and cast on something new. So
There you go.
Yep. So I have a very short attention span.
That's okay.
That's actually not true, but anyway.
So you go first.
Actually, I do think that's sort of true. Do you notice as you age that your attention span is a little shorter and then it's harder to concentrate?
Yes, and I absolutely can't multitask. I used to be able to multitask.
See, that's my problem.
And like juggle a lot of things at the same time and focus on do many things at the same time. And now I can't do that anymore. I have to really just, I can't knit and talk to people, but I can't cook dinner and talk to somebody really. Otherwise I'll burn whatever I'm making.
Interesting. I'm usually doing 47 things at the same time, and probably none of them very well, and then I don't remember what I did for the last 3 hours. So anyway, all right. So I have a really long list, and Felicia and Beth, who work at the store, and by the way, I didn't say we're at Pick Up Every Stitch in Mount Kisco, New York, and they let us record here. And we don't normally record our mini-sodes here, but there was so much yarn, we would have had to fill up the car with yarn
the
to
first
bring it
thought
to my
was
house.
Jonna was going to go get it and bring it to her house, and then I think you thought, why don't I just ask, or did they just offer?
No, they just offered.
They just offered,
so,
that's right.
They went through and pulled all of their spring and summer yarns for us, so we just get to grab things.
Yeah, there's a table full. Maybe I'll insert, I took a little video, maybe in some pictures when I got here of the table, and when I saw it, we both said we cannot possibly talk about all of these yarns.
No.
So if there's anything you see that you like, you can ask them.
I came here after the gym this morning, and you were still at the gym, and I was like, I'm overwhelmed. There's so much. I don't know what to do. So anyway, so let's get started.
Yes.
All right. So I don't know. I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, go.
You're heavily knitting.
Oh, that's okay. And you have more patterns.
Okay,
anyway.
and I organized my patterns by yarn weight. So I'm going to start in the fingering weight category. And some of these things, if you filter on Ravelry by new to Ravelry or hot now and tops, So I did some of that, but then I
Tops
actually...
as opposed to sweaters.
As opposed to sweater.
Okay.
But I think a top and a sweater, honestly, are the same.
Yeah.
So I think tops you can further... So the difference. Sweaters, you can only filter by
Cardigan, pullover, right.
pullover, and what's the third one? I don't know.
I can't
But
remember.
tops, you can filter by sleeveless, you know, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Short sleeves. So there's more filtering options.
Okay.
So anyway, quick Ravelry tutorial. I've been using the app called Ravit, though, on my phone. Ravit, which is not a Ravelry app, but it you have to give permission to the app to... Sorry, we're going off on a tangent.
That's okay.
To access your Ravelry library, but it's definitely more phone-friendly app. So it's called Ravit, and I'll leave a link to it in the show notes.
Great.
And everything we talk about, including what we're wearing. Oh, there is a mannequin back there wearing something. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
We'll find out what it is. I do know what yarn it's knit
It's a
in.
tank top.
It is a tank top. And it's knit in that Berroco.
Yeah, the same thing that bag was knit in, the last bag we talked about.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's knit in Berroco Lumi, which is cotton and polyester. And yeah, so anyway, but we'll link everything below in the show notes. So yeah, in case we forget anything, it'll be there. So, all right, number one on my list is, and I just saw this one this morning, and I just thought the construction of it was really interesting. It's the Verona t-shirt by Pauline Fanguen. And it's in fingering weight, 100% linen. It's in 11 sizes, up to 66.5 inches, so it's very size inclusive. It's a drop shoulder design with all over brioche, and it's got this cute little, this really pretty little square inset in the, what's this called? The yoke. It's called the yoke.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It says... Oh, it's not rated by difficulty, actually, but I just thought it was
cute.
really pretty. It's it looks ribbed, but it's brioche, and it looks pretty simple and boxy, cropped in this picture. So yeah, the 100% linen yarn that they have here is called Her Organic by Isabell. And I know that this softens up a lot. It feels pretty stiff right now in the skein, but it's 100% organic linen, 178 meters and 50 grams. And I love this tobacco color.
It's really
Would you call
beautiful.
it tobacco?
I would, sure.
Yeah, it's kind of a rosy brown. It's absolutely beautiful. So anyway, this is used in another pattern too. So they got a whole bunch of new yarns. Yeah, so I think that's all I wanted to say. So she's going to insert all the pictures.
Yes.
So we get to see what we're
Hopefully.
talking about.
And the correct captions. I had a mistake. My first real mistake in the last video in a caption. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, anyway, we put
That's a
a
pretty good track record.
we put a YouTube correction in there, caption.
You did.
I did to cover it up. Sorry.
That's okay.
I reread and proofread those captions so many times.
I know, and I watched the episodes before you aired them,
Yeah.
and I should have caught it, but I didn't.
It was for the Amy slipover. And
Mhm.
I know that it's not petite knit. I know it isn't petite knit. And I know it's Santa's garn. And you talked about it. But for some reason, I just typed in petite knit.
That's
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
No biggie.
Only one viewer pointed it out. Did any
Yeah.
viewers point it out other than that?
Mm-mm.
Nobody reads the captions anyway.
That's fine.
Okay, so I will talk about one. I am definitely not as organized as Jonna. I did not write down.
She's the organized one. Don't let her fool
No.
you.
But I really wasn't on my radar. I did not write down how many sizes, so maybe I'll put, for my patterns, I'll put that. Maybe I'll put that in yours too in the captions.
Okay.
Yeah, so sorry about that. So the first one, what did you do? You did fingering? Which ones of mine are fingering?
Oh, this one.
This one. I'll
Sorry,
talk about
shirt.
this one. Okay. So I just literally looked through Ravelry a little bit today, and also Instagram, so that I could find some that caught my attention. And one of them was the Surrey shirt by Caidree, Caidree. The recommended yarn is BC Garn Tussa Tweed, which they don't have here. 100% silk and a fingering weight. And it has, you'll see this scoop neck ribbing, and some ribbing around the short sleeves, and some ribbing with a split hem at the bottom. But I just think it looks so comfy, like such a comfy t-shirt. And so One of the yarns here that would be great is Moondrake. This pure lightness, 100% silk. This is the color Naked, right? And if you just
glorious.
see it, the drape, as you can tell, it just is so drapey.
Yeah.
It would be so gorgeous. But, you know, go to your local yarn shop. I mean, contact Pick Up Every Stitch, definitely. They have tons of yarns, as you can see from the table back here. But you can also go to your local yarn shop and look at their 100% silk options. And it's just gorgeous. So I would definitely knit that. And you know what this is reminding me of? I hadn't been looking at summer knits. These are going to knit up fast because you're not making long sleeves.
Right. Sometimes it's a looser gauge, a big gauge, bigger needles.
Yes. So maybe I have to get some of these on my radar. I don't know. Anyway.
I know when I walked in here, I was like, I don't want to make an episode. I want to shop. Let's look at yarn.
That's literally exactly what she said. I want to shop. So
I think Pearl Soho has a Tussa silk also.
Oh, okay.
But I was wondering, what is Tussa silk? And so I Googled it, and Google says that it is a cruelty-free silk made something to do with the cocoons of butterflies.
Oh, wow.
Which sounds very ethereal and fantastical and romantic. And
yeah.
My sweater is made out of the cocoons of butterflies.
Exactly.
So anyway.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I think the silk takes the dye really well. So it can be dyed in just really intense,
really vibrant,
colors.
beautiful colors. I mean, think of saris that are made out of silk.
Right.
They're just gloriously
Of course,
colorful.
I have 3 stitches in on a row, but anyway. Okay, this next one it's not a new pattern, but it's definitely on my radar. It's My Little Secret Crop by Jessie Mae Designs, and she has a lot of these kind of crop tops and bralettes and all different kinds of ribbing or not ribbing, fingering, DK. They're kind of scrappy projects, so her size range is great. I think she is all the way up to a 5XL, so an extra small to a 5XL. And then you can kind of use, what's in your stash. So that's nice too, because it doesn't take very much yarn.
Right.
But this My Little Secret Crop is a ribbed, I mean, it can be cropped. It doesn't have to be a crop top, but it starts from the bottom up. And then you cast off some back stitches, I think, with some ribbing, and then you just continue on with some straps. And I think you can crisscross them in the back, or not crisscross them. I actually made one, and it was back in my early knitting days, and I bound off the back stitches too tightly, so it was always kind of a little uncomfortable.
Oh, right.
So I frogged the whole thing.
Oh,
so it's on my radar to make another one. But I think it would be a nice summer tank top. So I don't know what I'm making that out of, but like I said, you can make it out of anything from fingering to DK, but it would be absolutely glorious in something like, do you see how soft that was?
I know. It's just
This
amazing.
is Camellia Fiber Company. It's 70% alpaca, 20% silk, and 10% cashmere. I actually grabbed this for a different pattern. That said, when I am sweaty, alpaca is very prickly on me.
Oh,
really? Yeah. I think I would rather wear a merino. And this is one of the few times when I might buy a superwash merino because all those little scales have been taken off the merino, so it's generally very smooth and I think more comfortable, even though I don't like the whole stretchiness and the draping. And,
Right. You have to take that into consideration because if you block it, it could really grow.
Yeah, and so then you have a totally different garment than what you thought you had.
Planned,
and that makes me nervous. Knitting is complicated enough without having to morph your project into something that you...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, My Little Secret Crop by Jessie Mae.
Great. Well, then I'll talk about a Jessie Mae design as well. My daughter last year, Elena, she used to come with us to help us film, and she got the knitting bug from sitting here listening to us. And I think it's because we were starting our Cal with Mayak, and so she wanted to knit something. And so I basically taught her how to knit a swatch of all the skills for this top, and then she knit the top, and it's gorgeous. But it's called the Summer Secret Top, also by Jessie Mae. And Jessie made the yarn she did hers in is wool silk, and again, fingering. And I actually asked Jonna to pull yarn for me. I am not a yarn person. You guys know that. I always ask somebody else to pull yarn for me.
I love yarn.
And she pulled this, and it's gorgeous. So this, as you see, I inserted the picture. It's just a little tank top, a little camisole. And it's also croppy, so you can just make it longer. And my daughter made it longer so she could, you know, not have her belly showing. She's a mom. Sometimes she doesn't want her belly showing. So, although she's gorgeous.
She has a beautiful belly.
She does.
If anyone can show their belly, it'd be her. But
if
yes,
I
she's
made
modest.
this top,
She's
you can just make it longer. If it's called a crop, just make it longer.
Yeah.
And again, if it's knit from the bottom up, think about that as you're knitting.
Right.
But this gorgeous Wild Atlantic must be hand dyed, right?
Oh yeah.
So beautiful.
So.
50% superwash merino, 50% silk.
Mm-hmm.
Super soft. It's just gorgeous.
Yes.
So that would.
It looks like ice cream sherbet.
It does. It's really beautiful. Actually, it matches kind of the brighter color.
That's why I pulled it for you.
Thank you so much. But that's a great top if you like to wear a camisole. And yeah, that would be great.
Yep. All right. I'm going to grab my iPad really quickly and look at this Moonset tee by Ozetta. And it's in Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, which they just got in here. They just started. They have had Knitting for Olive
for a while.
Yeah. But I think they just got the Pure Silk in. And it comes in all these gorgeous colors back here on my left. I don't know if you can see it, but maybe, are we inserting pictures of yarn? Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. So yeah, 100% pure silk. And oh my goodness, it's not silky, but it's soft, and I bet it blocks it beautifully. I bet it washes it beautifully. So this Moonset tee by Ozetta in Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, the sample is made out of, and let's see, sizes extra small to 5XL, and it's a top-down construction with a drop shoulder. And let's see. Oh, I really love how it has a V-neck, but it almost looks like it's folded over.
It's crossed.
It's crossed in the front, and it's got some short sleeves. It looks like an I-cord bind off. Looks like a pretty loose gauge, but opaque so that you can't see. I can't see the model's bra underneath. But it just looks like a really simple V-neck, not too low, comfortable t-shirt. Yeah, I think it's pretty.
It is pretty.
Yeah.
That reminds me, though, what you said about being kind of see-through or opaque. The another thing my daughter changed in the Summer Secret top, as you saw from the picture, it's very see-through. So she just did up a gauge swatch that she liked, and she just made it a thicker material and then just knit a different size. She's tiny, so there were plenty of sizes bigger that she could knit. So she didn't want it to be see-through. So yep, it's another thing you can do.
Nice.
All right, am I next?
Yep.
Do I have any more fingerings? Oh, I have one more. And again, it's another Jessie made. I don't know, I love her designs. They're really pretty.
They're great.
They're
very size inclusive.
Yeah, and they're just, I don't know, they're just kind of original and young and youthful
Whimsical.
and cute, whimsical, yes. So this one I love, and my friend Elise knit it last summer. It's called the Outline Tee. It is such a cute top. And it's a V-neck. And it has drop stitches that outline, come down along the center and down the back as well. And it just, I helped her when she dropped the stitches, and it was just magical how it worked. You're a little paranoid, of course, and worried that it's not going to work.
Right.
But it worked, and it was really, really beautiful. So here they have, did you already show one of these? Isair Trio 2, which would be great. 50% linen, 30% cotton. And 20% lyocell. What did you say lyocell is?
I think lyocell is also Tencel tea, and I think Tencel is a brand name of lyocell. Okay. And I think it's a plant-based fiber.
Okay. So. But this doesn't feel very soft. But again, when you block these, and they'll just drape so nicely, and just, I like it because it's not furry. I don't want to wear furry things in the summer. I did make a short sleeve ranunculus, and it's the last thing on earth I want to wear. It's also a little itchy when it's warm. So yeah, I regret putting mohair in that ranunculus, but this would be a great option. And again, there's so many great options, so just go to your local yarn shop or call Karen and Felicia, and Beth can help you find yarns.
I just thought this would be like taking you shopping with us.
Yeah.
And looking at all the eye candy. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fun.
Yep. Okay, so I'm on to DK weight, sport weight, I think most of these are DK though, honestly. So if you've been on Instagram at all, you have definitely seen The Shorty by Anne Vensel. And she tells a cute little story. I guess she met a woman, and the woman said something about pointelle, the knit pattern. And Anne said, oh yeah, I don't imagine myself ever designing anything with a pointelle pattern. And then she thought about it, and I guess the woman gave her sort of a curious look, and sure enough she designed something in a pointelle pattern. So it must involve yarn overs, I'm thinking. Anyway, they have downloaded the pattern here. It's one of Felicia's favorites. Felicia is one of the owners of Pick Up Every Stitch, and it's very tailored, it's very delicate. It's made in the Isabell Trio 2, held together with one strand of alpaca 1, and so the sample is actually made in these two yarns held together. So, or you can make it with one strand of DK. So the Trio 2 is 50% linen, 30% cotton, and 20% tencel. Or you just said
that's
that.
the one I just talked about.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
Sorry.
same yarn. No,
okay,
it's
so
fine.
it comes in lots of colors, which is nice. The Shorty has 5 sizes, up to 51 inches, and it's a top-down construction in the round. Anyway, I love it. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Yeah.
Nice.
You said it was so organized. I don't know. I don't feel organized. I'm like dropping things on the floor. And
It's okay.
yeah.
I always drop things on the floor. So my option for DK, I just have one. It's the Olive Tank by Sari Nordland. And it's really just a very simple tank top. And I think you could wear it with everything and anything. You could layer it. I wonder if the original was knit in knitting for olive, so I'm wondering if that's why she calls it the Olive Tank. I don't know.
I don't know, but the sample is actually
It also
olive.
is an olive,
It's
yes.
olive colored.
Yes, so it's a mystery. We don't know. But they have knitting for olive pure silk here, and look at this color. Oh my goodness. The colors are
So intense.
divine. I mean, gorgeous. And they're not all this bright. I mean, obviously they have more neutrals that you would like. But I just, it's so beautiful. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I now want to knit something in the knitting for olive pure silk. It's so gorgeous. But by the way, the Olive Tank though is actually knit in a DK, and the knitting for olive pure silk is light, a fingering. So 2 strands are held. Now, someone asked recently in a comment, or somewhere a comment, maybe on Instagram, doesn't that increase the price of your project if you're holding 2 yarns to get this gauge? And initially, and I answered her, yeah, it could increase the cost, but actually I just swatched for a Joji Locatelli pattern, and it calls for, I think, a DK, and the DK yarn I wanted to buy, the yardage, was more than holding 2 strands of fingering.
So it depends on the yarn.
Yes, because the fingering has so many more yards, right, per skein, so I needed,
Right.
It
Well,
was,
if DK is double fingering, then
then it makes sense, right? So it depends. If you're holding a mohair to get a different gauge, it really depends. It might not increase the price. It might be the same price, Yeah, so anyway, just thought I would put that in there.
Nice.
Yeah, you can go next. You have a few. Just do a few.
Alrighty.
I don't have that many.
I should have just talked about the other one by Anne Vensel, which is called Nice, the city in France. And it's made out of this her, and of course I googled it, and I think that's how you pronounce it. It's H-O with the line through it, R, organic linen, held together with the alpaca 1. And it's in 4 sizes. Her patterns tend to come in 4 or 5 sizes, from small to extra large, and it's a top down in the round sweater again, but the cool thing about this one are the cute little stripes. So it's very nautical, because Nice is on the coast of France.
Yes, it
So
is.
it's very Felicia. It's done like a tan with a navy stripe. Felicia loves stripes, and a very tailored, cute little tee. But of course you don't have to do the stripes, which I probably wouldn't. So stripe.
I'm thinking about something funny about Nice. Have you ever been to Nice?
I have never been to Nice.
I used to work on a cruise ship, so I had been to Nice, when I worked on the cruise ship. And then my husband and I somewhat recently went to Europe for a trip for my 50th birthday. And Nice, it's so funny. All the rich and famous people go to this area, right? Nice, the beach is like famous. And the first time I went to that beach, I'm used to really, like, Long Island in New York has this soft sand. It's like powder. It's beautiful. Even where I grew up on the West Coast, it's sand. It's like sand. And you go to the beach at Nice and it's pebbles.
Oh.
There's no sand.
So you have to wear sneakers.
It's pebbles.
Oh, yeah.
From a distance, it looks like it might be sand, that color, but it's literally pebbles. I don't know. I just thought that was funny. They must put down mats or something to lay on the beach or lay on the rocks.
Right.
I don't know. I just thought it was funny. I still love you, Nice, but you need sand at your beach. Anyway. So what did you just talk about?
The Niece by Anne Vencel.
So
I'll do another one.
Yes, because I don't have any more in this.
Okay, so I came across this one on Ravelry, and it's the Tan Top by Helga Isager, and it's a cute little kind of lingerie-inspired tank. But I loved the detail. It's got these sheer, so it's made with two yarns held together, but parts of the tank are just one yarn held single. So it's got this sheer little inset in the V, and it's got some vertical lines and cute little like tap shorts that go with it that I wouldn't make, I don't think. But it's very delicate. It's almost lingerie. It's something maybe you would want to wear a blouse over it.
Yeah, now I want to go look it up.
It's so very tailored. It's got straps and a V-neck and some nice details on the sides, like a faux seam on the side.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Okay, are you ever going to knit that cashmere thing?
Yes, my husband actually asked me about it the other day.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go back to our recap of Rhinebeck from just this last fall, right? It was just this last
2022.
Fall. Yeah. We splurge purchased, the channel splurge purchased and bought
some cashmere.
Beautiful cashmere.
And this watermelon color.
And what was the name of that top? Do you remember?
I don't remember the name of the top.
Anyway, we saw this cute.
It's got a cool construction.
Kind of like, also like a, was it the diamonds or?
Something like that.
Yeah, also like a pretty, looks like lingerie, right? Really beautiful.
Yeah, and my husband asked me the other day, when are you going to make that?
Oh!
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm surprised. Oh, he came with us that day. It was Sunday, the day we shopped.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, so he was there when we bought it.
Let's see.
I have another one by Kadri called the Home Camisole. And it's just a basic V-neck camisole. It's got a V in the front, a V in the back. It almost looks like it could be reversible. And it is also a DK pattern, and it's made in 100% cashmere. It has 11 sizes up to 61 inches.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's a top-down construction. It looks like it might have an I-cord at the V-neck.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Yeah, and this one is made in cashmere. So, I mean, it's hot and humid in New York. We have very warm summers.
Yeah, I'm not going to wear
So I would not be wearing a cashmere camisole. So I would opt for something
you
like...
use something else.
Yeah. Now this is actually, I think this is technically a worsted weight, but I've made a couple things out of this Illimani Sabri 2, which is 85% cotton and 15% baby alpaca. It's a chainette yarn. Oh, which reminds me, if you haven't watched Mel Make Stuff on YouTube, her YouTube channel, it's fantastic. She not only makes beautiful garments, she's very interested in garment construction and modifications, but she has a few tutorials also, and one of her tutorials, and I'll link it below, is how to join plant-based yarns.
Oh, wow.
Right. So, you know, your whole spit splicing thing isn't going to work unless it's silk, which is an animal fiber. It's possible that might work, spit splicing. But she has 5 different joins, and she has a really great video that's great for chainette yarns, good for tape yarns, which we have over here, the tube-like yarns, and yeah, it's just a genius video. It's just one of those ones that you're going to want to, you know, save and put in your toolbox. And there's a sister video to that I'll also link below. And then the topic of it is escaping me, but anyway, those two videos are great. Nice. So yarn joins, you know, with a slippery yarn is tricky.
Yeah. Just make sure you really, before you really use them in a garment, make sure you really have them down, because I think we had a comment Also, or maybe again it was on Instagram, because I do the Instagram. Jonna answers most of the video comments, the YouTube comments, and I do the Instagram. But somebody had commented that they had done those, I think, invisible knots in a project. And even before they finished, magic knots maybe, and they started opening up. Yeah, that would be a total bummer. Right? To finish an entire project. And then you don't even have extra yarn to weave in, because that's the point of it, right? You tie these itty bitty teeny tiny knots,
right,
and cut it super short, and there's nothing left.
There was actually one technique where you overlapped the yarn just by a little bit and hand sewed the ends together.
Oh wow,
which is interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I like weaving in. I'm just gonna weave in my ends.
Yeah, but with the slippery yarn, and also using wooden needles, it has a little bit more friction if you're using like pure silk or pure linen or something that's uber slippery. It's frustrating to use metal needles.
Right.
Sometimes.
Yes, that can be very difficult.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Around, so. Anyway.
That's true. So I have one that's actually a sport weight, but don't you feel like sport and DK are very, very, very similar?
I think so.
I can't tell visually the difference, really. So I saw the Sunnyside top by Camille K, and I love the neckline and the line from where the strap comes down to the underarm. It's a little camisole. I just love it. I don't know why I love it so much.
I think it's flattering.
It is flattering, and it looks also like it's I-cord, right? Around the edges and the straps. I don't know. Jonna looked up the patterns to see, but I didn't. I just said, oh, that's pretty.
It's got an all-over pattern of something.
Yep. Yep. See, she's so smart.
Something. That's not very detailed.
She listed, I don't know how many options for yarns, like 10 maybe.
Wow.
So Jonna pulled this for me, this Wool Addicts Pride by Long Yarns.
I think the texture would be really pretty in this.
Really pretty, yeah. So go ahead. I only have one more, so you just take it away, Jonna.
Okay. Oh, okay.
With all your options.
Well, I happen to have some of this yarn in stash, and this is why I pulled this top. It's the Ingrid top by Gregoria Fibers, and it's made out of Gregoria Fibers. I don't know. It's natural cotton merino. So it's 70% cotton and 30% merino. I have used this. I made these beach headbands for the girls when we went to the Cape a couple years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I have some of this in stash, and it's really soft. It was a little splitty when I was knitting with it, so using Dell wooden needles really helped. So I didn't wasn't constantly poking through the yarn. The yarn, yeah. So the Ingrid top, it has it's very holey. You might want to wear a camisole underneath it. It's got like eyelets. I want to describe it as eyelets. And it's just a basic crew neck construction. It's also top down, comes in 8 sizes up to 49 inches in the bust. And it just looks like a super cute, very wearable, everyday kind of tank top.
Yes,
just throw it on.
Really cute.
Yeah, can be worn with jeans or shorts. Looks really casual.
Yeah,
it's really pretty.
By the way, if you hear the air conditioner, it is right above us. Normally we don't have one above us. So
it feels awesome, but
it does. It was a little warm. We're on a different side of the shop by the big windows, and it was freezing cold outside, but it was warm in here when we got here.
Yeah.
So we asked them to turn the AC on. So if you hear that,
that's what it is.
Rumbling, that's the AC. It feels wonderful. I hope you have your AC on as well.
This one says natural cotton merino, so the colors that this comes in does come in a blue actually, but it comes in a lot of very natural colors, and some of it is undyed. So
nice.
Anyway, I really like this yarn. That reminds me, I need to pull it out.
Yes.
Oh, all right, I'm still up. Okay,
you're still up.
This next one. So I'm on a little bit of an Irene Lin kick.
Nice.
Yes.
She's
a Taiwanese designer, and I think I've talked about the Faye summer top in another video. It's Faye. Look it up. It's not on my list, but it's very delicate, feminine, got fluttery sleeves. I think it's made out of Woolfolk straw, I want to say. Do you remember what the content of that is?
Nope.
I didn't look it up. So yeah, that actually isn't on my list, but anyway, that leads me into my next item, which is the Rota tee. This is a worsted weight tank, and it's cropped, but you can obviously, you know, it's made top down, so you can keep knitting if you want. Just, you know, keep doing the repeats before you do split for the hem, and it's got a big rib at the hem.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crew neck. It's, you know, you start from the top down in the back, and you knit to the armholes, and then you, there's a few short rows on the right and left shoulder, and you knit down, and you join in the round underneath the arms. It's got a pretty yarn over, so big eyelets. Definitely want to wear something underneath
Mm-hmm.
it. But I originally saw it on Karen, who is, and I'm going to say this wrong, Casuarina Girl.
Yeah.
Casuarina Girl on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Karen. She knit a beautiful blush colored one in drops Bell, Bellbelle, which might be similar to the Santa's Garn Lena line, whatever. We're not Norwegian.
Exactly.
Well, she is.
Right,
not.
but I don't speak
She
Norwegian.
But it's has 6 sizes up to a size 53.75 inch bust, and I really like it, and I'm definitely going to make one.
Nice.
Yeah, not the super cropped, but probably the next cropped. But actually, I'm going to make 2 of them because I want to make one in a darker color and one in a lighter color. I might make the lighter one super cropped because I have some very high-waisted pants I can wear it with. So
Nice. I did want to mention, since you said some of the tops you might want to wear something under it, I used to have this, it was a long sleeve sweater, kind of like a tunic style. I think it had a split hem. I bought it in a store. I wore this thing till it fell apart. And I think it was made of silk or linen. And it was very see-through, you know, it was very sheer. Had a kind of an interesting pattern on it, and I would love to find, because I would wear it in the summer, because I would just wear a black camisole under it or something, or a flesh-colored camisole. I love that thing so much, so I'm going to find a pattern like that. The sleeves were just straight. They weren't fitted. They just kind of went straight down and hung. Oh, I just love that. And the sweater, too, was just kind of straight like a tunic. I love that thing. Might have had slightly a boat neck. So if anybody knows a pattern like that, send it my way.
Well, actually, I'll teach you how to search for those specific things, attributes.
I don't want to search for those things. I want you to do it for me.
Oh, I will. I'll do it for you. Sorry,
Even when
I'm a big fan of Ravelry.
Yeah, I mean, I am too, but sometimes I get so frustrated when I can't find exactly what I want. It drives me nuts.
I wish that there was a sewing website that is, you know, similar.
Like Ravelry.
That
would be a
for
great idea.
sewing. It would be great.
You should invent it.
heard rumors or heard, you know, this, and I don't know of any. So, anyway.
One more thing I wanted to say. It was
Yeah.
so funny. When I first got here today, I was here early because Jonna came here earlier today to look at the yarns, and I didn't have a chance. So I wanted to come in and look and set up early. And this lovely young woman came in, and I don't know why she said it, but she said to Felicia, like, "Is that someone I should know over there?" Talking about me.
Because we already had the camera set up and the lights.
Yeah,
and
and I was like, I like, she said, "Is she famous?" I'm like, "No, I'm not famous.
in Brazil.
I'm just a knitter here. I just knit, and I, you know, talk about it on camera." But she was so sweet. Her name is Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
And hi, Kelly. And she just finished the reason she came in, she just finished her first knitted object.
The baby blanket.
Yes, she made a
really, really
beautiful
cute
baby blanket.
Yeah.
And I guess how did she even fall in love with knitting? I don't know, but she is just in love right now. And she sounds like you, though. She started talking about yarns and all these different things. And she's really, like, really enthusiastic. And, I mean, her first object looked professionally made.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
She used this little bobble yarn, and so she did stripes holding the bobble yarn with the main color yarn.
Yes.
And so stripes of bobbles is super cute.
Really, really kind of
Yes.
elegant and really pretty.
Yes.
Really nice baby blanket.
Yeah.
So you go, Kelly.
Yeah.
We have another knitter in the world.
Yeah.
We need more knitters in the world.
Yay.
So yeah, I just have one more to talk about, and it's called the Twist Tee, or the Twist Top. I think it's in Ravelry, the Twist Tee by Nina Ruth, and has kind of a knot at the bottom, and short sleeves, And I just think it looks so nice. I could see this, instead of doing the French tuck of your shirt, just make this sweater with this little knot in the front. And I just think it's so, so, so cute. And I want to make one of these ASAP. And again, I'm making it a little bit longer than the young girls make it. But yeah, it looks really, really nice. But she used Sandnes Garn Line, or Line, or however you call it. I used Sandnes Garn Line in my Snowbell top a couple of years ago, and I loved knitting with that, and I love wearing it in the summer. Actually, our summer picture at the beginning of our intro of us at Rhinebeck 2 years ago.
No, Woolen Folk.
Oh, Woolen Folk. Yes, it was at Woolen Folk. I'm wearing my Snowbell top by Sandnes Garn in the Line, or the line. And we just pulled some bright colors here. That time I made it in like a rose gold, rosy color. But here's like...
it's almost the same color as your hair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the other one. But the orange is beautiful. This green. It's 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. And it's a really nice yarn. Again, it doesn't feel soft right now, but when you knit it up, it's really soft.
And it's not prickly when you're
not
sweating.
At all. No.
I definitely want to make something out of that.
Yeah.
And they have a
Highly recommend.
tin lean yarn that's the same fibers, but it's fingering weight. So,
but yeah, so that's my last one.
because the slanting slip-on by another Ann Fensel pattern is also made in worsted, so it would be great in the Sandnes Garn Lean or line, whatever it's called. It's again 4 sizes, small to extra large, top down. It's got these really beautiful geometric sort of sculpted texture and lines in it. I think it's very flattering. It's very elegant looking. So I would like to make one of those. She also has a more wintry pattern called the slanting slip over. So that's done in a more woolly wool. And it's got a little bit of a mock turtleneck too, I think. The slanting slip on has a nice crew neck.
Nice.
But I did want to quickly mention, and I know it's all over Instagram, but Rebecca Clow of the Kraemer podcast designed the Corin cardigan that has just taken off and is up there on the first page of Ravelry. And it's a great little bottom-up cardigan. It's got an all-over texture. It would be great in the Sandnes Garn Lean. It has 2 necklines. I think it has a crew neck or scoop neck, what you call it, and a V-neck. And then 2 sleeve lengths also.
Was that the one with her whole knitting group knitted a different color? And isn't Amy Palco in one of the pictures?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Amy Palco was one of the testers, and they're in a knitting group together in Edinburgh. And our friend...
Wouldn't you love to be a part of that knitting group?
Our friend Laura from the Knitting Posse is also in Scotland right now with her husband on a kind of prolonged business trip or a kind of short relocation, but she's going to their knit night. Yeah, I'm trying not to be like super jealous, but anyway, yeah, but stay tuned, because later in the year we might be able to meet them.
Yes, that would
not
be
at
lovely.
Rhinebeck, but maybe that weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I think Pick Up Every Stitch has become a destination for lots of podcasters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a tourist.
Yeah.
A knitting tourism destination.
Speaking of other podcasters and knitting people, local Yard Shop Day is April 29th. So we'll be here. I'll be here from 12 to 4. You'll be here when you can get here.
Yeah, like maybe 2:30 to 4.
Okay. We'll just be hanging out with Max from Max and Steer.
I want to meet all the famous
Max
people
the knitter,
who come.
and his husband, who is a yarn dyer, and I think also a designer, a knitwear designer, designs by Dell's, or anyway, don't take my word for it. Anyway, his husband will be here, and probably Tanya, who travels with them.
Oh, yes.
His cousin. So anyway, that'll be exciting. And then our friend Jen Shields Toland, who is, we're going to be actually interviewing her next week. This week.
I thought it was this Friday.
I think it's this Friday.
Which actually would be today when you see this.
Right. Because she is a designer from Ireland, and she does a lot of brioche designs. And I wanted to talk to her about brioche. Increases, decreases, just tips and tricks. And I'm excited to talk to her.
Yeah, that'll be really fun.
Yeah. So she's going to invite us down to her studio, which is in southern Westchester County. And we'll just get to go and look at all her goodies and we've had a lot of requests for, not a lot, one or two. I guess when someone requests something of us, we take it to heart and want to be able to provide that content. So so we're going to talk to her about brioche.
And then the first weekend in May we'll be at Maryland Sheep and Wool, which we already mentioned, and a few viewers have said there isn't really
a place
like the Hill, like at Rhinebeck. Somebody said near the sheep shearing area or something like that. What we might do, I'm thinking what we should do is just go there that Saturday morning and then just post on Instagram. Okay. I just don't know. We've never been there. So let's say maybe we'll meet up with people at 2 and we'll just post. A lot of people aren't on Instagram. I don't know. We'll try to post it somewhere. Maybe I'll put something on the channel community page as well. But if you're going to be at Maryland Sheep and Wool, definitely check out Instagram that day and just see where exactly we're going to be. Or if you see us walking around, just stop us and say hi.
And thanks to Pat, who's been emailing us all the information.
Yes, thank you so much.
Today
we were like, did we even register yet?
I know. I'm not even sure we bought tickets yet.
We have hotel rooms.
I know. I'll figure it out. I don't think we bought them yet, but so we need to buy tickets.
I don't think we did either.
What else was I going to say? So, and tomorrow evening, well, no, it's tomorrow for us, but it will have already happened 2 days ago for you.
Right.
We're doing a members for our for our Cable 3 members. We have a monthly Zoom.
Yes.
Knit night.
This will be our second one.
Yeah, it was really fun, really low key. I'm going to wear my stretchy pants.
Wear those stretchy pants.
Wear my stretchy pants. And we had a little bit of wine.
One day we could even do like a pajama party one.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Because you all know I love to knit in bed, so generally I'm wearing my pajamas.
Exactly.
Every time you FaceTime me and I'm in bed, I'm always wearing pajamas.
I just found out today that Jonna doesn't like to FaceTime. No, yesterday you told me.
No, I don't mind FaceTiming. What don't I like?
Okay. She said she doesn't like to FaceTime on her phone. She likes to FaceTime when she has her computer in front of her because she does it on her computer. And I told her I do nothing on my computer. Yeah. And I always FaceTime on my phone. So it's so funny.
It took me 5 years to tell you. She always FaceTimes me. And like yesterday, I think I was checking out at Whole Foods and I had like my phone in one hand and my keys in the other, trying not to like drop the apples on the floor. And I just was like, but my husband's like, you can just not answer. And I was like, oh, right. I could do that.
Yeah, you can not answer.
Even though we live outside of New York City, the service here, depending on your carrier and my carrier, we have like dead zones.
Oh, lots of them.
And so then I hear every third word and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So yes, I don't mind FaceTiming as long as I'm home in front of my computer.
And I prefer just face-to-face conversation. Right. And I do not like the phone, even as a teenager. Right. I wasn't the teenager on the phone all the time or waiting for the phone. I just don't like the telephone. Yeah. And so FaceTime to me is like in lieu of face-to-face conversation. Right. I just like to see your face when I'm talking to you. So anyway,
I FaceTimed her today.
She did. I was like, what?
Because I was at my desk. Yes. So.
Anyway, so the things you find out about your friends.
I know.
So
silly.
Well, I'm thankful that you finally told me.
Yeah. So I have to show you this other yarn, and I have no idea which project
you pulled it for.
I pulled this for, but it's the Moondrake Pika Pika. And this is 60% superwash merino, 20% silk, and 20% rami, which is another plant fiber, and it's in the color Hisui.
Oh, that color is just gorgeous.
400 yards for 100 grams, and it is so soft.
It's so soft.
And they have beautiful colors. Oh my goodness, tons of pastels, super bright colors also. So this is definitely a good option. I think. See, and I don't think this would be itchy. It might be warm, but if you made like the My Little Secret crop or something like that out of this, I don't think it would be scratchy or itchy if you were sweaty. It might be warm.
No, I don't think so. And it's not like fuzzy.
No, it's very soft.
Yeah.
So, anyway, they have a great Moondrake selection. It's one of their newer vendors. So,
but I have to honestly say, we're calling this spring and summer or summer knits. Honestly, the last thing I want to put on in the summer when it's really hot is anything knit. I mean, I want to have as little clothes on as possible that's socially acceptable. Right. So for me, these are like spring, like cool summer day, spring, fall, layering, totally for layering. I could easily wear one of those little camisoles underneath my denim jackets with a pair of jeans. But yeah, so not winter, anyway.
And sometimes I'll just throw on a short sleeve knitted top over a sundress or something. If I'm going out to dinner and I feel exposed. So cute, Sarah from Into Sarah. I actually texted her and I said, oh, it's you feel exposed. If you're showing too much skin. It was so cute. She just couldn't think of the word. So
that was so funny. I watched that. That was so cute. She's like, naked isn't the word.
Isn't the right word.
It was so funny. She's like, naked? No. What's the word? It was the cutest thing.
Her vocabulary is incredible.
Yeah.
When I think about having to express myself in French, which I took in school for forever, and I almost have a minor in French.
Funny.
But I'm just not conversational. And the abstract concepts she relays in English is just really, really amazing. So anyway.
Yeah, it is really, really amazing.
Okay, so that was our rundown. I love lists. Whenever I see a podcast, it's like 5 tips and tricks, or 10 ways to knit faster, or my top 10
those.
Knits of this
love
year.
Those, yeah,
a parade of anything. I am there for it. So hopefully you enjoyed our
Hopefully
parade.
it made sense, and hopefully you like some of the patterns.
Yeah.
And it was really fun to think about it. Definitely got me excited about
more in the mood.
Knitting things without long sleeves and really thick, heavy, yarns and everything. So that'll be fun. Yeah. Now I want to buy yarn. Maybe I'll shop too today. So we mentioned the member Zoom. Check out our membership. I'm not going to list all the different things. And we have the affiliate link for the Knitter's Planner. Someone just asked me again for that.
Okay.
And then we might have another affiliate thing coming up. It's in the works. We're talking about it, so that'll be
we were
fun.
already going to film let's talk about kind of knitting accessories and what's in our knitting bag and that kind of thing. So it's funny because we get asked to sell all kinds of stuff like you wouldn't even imagine.
Yes.
Like I'm like, you want us to sell what?
Yeah.
Chocolate covered roses
all
and
kinds of crazy things.
Yeah, all kinds of crazy things that aren't
say
knitting
no thank you,
related.
no thank you, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you.
Very rarely does something catch our interest, and if it's not something that we're actually going to use in our knitting practice, we're not going to talk about it.
So they're going to send us some samples, and we're going to see if we like them, and if we're, if it's something that we'll actually use.
Right.
And, that we like.
And I said, what if we don't like any of it? And she said, oh, then that's completely fine.
Yeah.
We want you to be authentic. And so that was a green light for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that might be something coming up.
Yeah.
So fun.
But everyone always wants to know what's in your knitting bag of tricks.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I use stitch markers for everything, not just to mark a certain stitch. I just love stitch markers. They're my best friend.
The removable ones also?
Both. I use them for all kinds of things.
Are so handy. Yeah.
Yeah. I have one on here, but the pattern told me to put it in. But I put them in all the time, even the pattern doesn't say.
Yeah.
Just it helps me to think of
for sure.
a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Like and subscribe. Turn on your notifications.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be driving this bus and I don't know the little spiel. So thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Share.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Bye from Pick Up Every Stitch in Mount Kisco, New York.
Yes.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
I have so many. I don't know.
Oh, I just belched.
All right. Now that you're all ready, I get up.
That's okay. I feel so sweaty. The AC's on, thank goodness.
I'll chat. See my throat again.
We noticed that Jonna, in just everyday life, you never clear your throat.
I
ever.
really don't.
And it's funny because when we're filming,
my throat gets scratchy.
Yeah, and it's not because you're around yarn. You're around yarn all the time.